I live in Colorado and I do a lot of hiking up in the Rocky Mountains, and they are rocky. I just bought this brand new pair of hiking boots, and it takes me a while to break them in. These probably only have about 60 miles on them. I do go on backpacking trips. I usually get probably 800, close to 1,000 miles out of a pair of boots. But what I've noticed is my toes are getting not only scuffed up, but the leather is actually getting torn in spots. And I'm afraid if I don't do something about it, the toe is going to wear out on these things long before the boots themselves. So I've done it before, and I'm going to show you how to repair these with a boot guard substance. There's a couple of them on the market. I've used this particular one before, and it's a beautiful product. It works great. The reason I'm making this video is because they make videos, but they're making them for work boot repair, which apparently work boot guys don't care what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to make hiking boots, or work boots for that matter if you want, look fashionable with new toe caps on them. So let's get started. The boots on the right are my existing hiking boots, and that's really the look I'm trying to go for. Those toe caps have protected me from many a scraping rock. The first thing I want to do is decide how I want the cap to go on there. And honestly, that's pretty well already determined by where my bad scuff marks are. So I'll just line something out, and when that looks good, we shall proceed. What I ended up doing was using a pencil and an eraser to draw the lines for the toe caps I wanted to do. And I did that on each boot. You can erase on the leather. And as soon as I thought I had a pretty good match, then I went through and darkened the ink line with ink. The next step, you just take some white masking tape and put it right across your ink marks. If things work out, you can see your ink lines through there. So you just go back and remark them. Now you just take a little X-Acto knife or a pocket knife and cut right along the line. But be careful, you don't want to go too deep or you'll cut the leather. If you're not comfortable doing that, you could also pull the tape off, cut the lines with the scissors, and put this piece back in. Either way you do it, once you've got your form around the toe cap, you just take a little tape where you're afraid it might spill over and put the hurt on the rest of your boot, masking it off, as it were. And if you want a nice clean line, you're also going to want to mask the bottom part, the sole. I'm going to take it right up to the edge. The hard part's done. All we need to do now is lay on the toe cap. So here's what you get with this KG's boot guard. You get the actual liquid itself. You get a little piece of sandpaper and this big old stir bobbin thing. I do recommend that you sand the surface of the boot to prepare it. As for this thing, I think it's a little clunky. If you watch their video, you'll see how clunky it is. So I just use a throwaway sponge brush and use a stir and stick just to keep things a little simpler. So we'll get started. That hardly needs sandpaper and it's so rough anyhow. But especially if your boots are new, you want to make sure you do this step, get the old finish off of there. Be careful not to ruin your tape job. From this point on, I believe it's prudent to wear rubber gloves because this stuff is not only black, but it's nasty and it's pretty permanent. So in the interest of keeping ourselves pretty, that's my recommendation. It's kind of a grainy substance. Even though it's just an old workbench, I like to keep the worst of the black stuff off of it. So here we go. By pre-taping it, you do not have to be terribly careful with this stuff, but just kind of daub it on there. Comes out kind of rough looking. It's alright. Even it out. I think it's melting my brush. It's okay, it's a one-time use deal. It's a fairly pungent chemical odor as well, so I suppose I ought to open a window. Anyway, I recommend you do it. And voila! First coat's done. As per the instructions, I did the first coat, gave it about 4 hours to dry, and put a second coat on. And that really seems like the key. The first one sort of seals the leather, and the second one really puts it together. That's the one I evened out all this granular stuff. So it looks great from here. Let's take off the tape and see what we got. Nice and clean. Here comes the main one. I consider that a raging success. So there you have it, my friends. Whether you have hiking boots or work boots that need new toe caps, you know how to do it and make a nice, neat job of it. That way, after you get off the trail or get off work and go by the bar, people are going to look at your feet and go, "What a cool guy or gal."